Now we are getting in breaking inputs as far as the court proceedings of Arvind Kejriwal's arrest and now the custody battle that is currently underway in Delhi's Rouse Avenue court is concerned. Kejriwal's legal team has in fact concluded those arguments with Abhishek Manu Singhvi in fact questioning the need for arrest, and now we are learning that the enforcement directorate has in fact begun its rebuttal. Let's quickly go across to Arunima, who's been tracking all the details for us. Arunima, what is the Enforcement Directorate's rebuttal resting on?
See, what Abhishek Manu Singhvi said is that the entire case against Kejriwal is based on statements given by accused to the Enforcement Directorate. Some of them have turned approver in the case, and Abhishek Manu Singhvi said that they were coerced into naming Kejriwal. There is no other basis. So now Additional Solicitor General is countering Abhishek Manu Singhvi by saying that whether an approver statement should be admissible, not admissible, what is the weight of that evidence, all of that will come at this trial stage. For a remand application, that should not be considered. The second thing that he's pointing out, that yes, it is correct that some of the accused have been pardoned and they have been allowed to turn approver, but that's the way the law is. The agency does have the power to pardon some accused so that in return they provide evidence for the larger conspiracy. And as V.S. Raju is saying that that is provided for in the law, and yes, we have done so. So that is what the back and forth is happening. Once again, to point out, Kejriwal's defense lawyers, both Abhishek Manu Singhvi and Ramesh Gupta, saying that there is no evidence, no corroborative evidence, and therefore the arrest itself should not have happened. ED countering that.
Absolutely. On that note, let's quickly go across to Shireen also. Shireen, what Mr. Raju is also saying is that there needs to be a clear-cut dichotomy between a case for remand versus a trial, because he's also gone on to question how much weight is supposed to be given to an approver statement should be a matter of trial and not an argument for when a remand is being asked for. Shireen, important to highlight the dichotomy during these proceedings between the case for a remand versus what should be presented during a trial. All right, we'll try and reconnect with Shireen. In fact, let me take that question from Arunima. Arunima, we are seeing what those live updates that are coming in of those proceedings, and Mr. Raju has in fact gone on to question that the need for an approver statement should be a matter of trial and not an argument during the ask for a remand.
Yes, I told you that's what ASG has been arguing because Abhishek Manu Singhvi told the court that there is no case against Kejriwal except for the statement. But V.S. Raju saying that whether that amounts to good enough evidence or not is a matter for trial. And Ananya is now telling us that the latest statement that we have got is an AAP candidate from Goa, which has been recorded in March 2024. So this is new evidence that ED is citing. What is the ED's case? That out of the 100 crore bribe amount that was paid in cash, about 45 crore was utilized in the Goa election. To support this charge, they have this new evidence now. They have taken the statement of one of the Aam Aadmi Party candidates who has confessed that for his electioneering, the entire payment that the party made to him was in cash. Why was this money being paid in cash is what the ED wants Kejriwal to answer. Is it because he wanted to utilize the cash amount that he had received via Hawala transaction as bribe, as proceeds of crime? So that's the big news that we are getting. That's the new update that the ED has, the new evidence that the ED has. It is saying that the Aam Aadmi Party candidates and those who were campaigning or helping Aam Aadmi Party with publicity in Goa elections were all being paid through the proceeds of this crime.
All right. In fact, Arunima, continue to stay with us. Shireen, as I'm being told just now, is also stationed outside the Election Commission office at the moment. Those visuals that we are showing you is of the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas also defending Arvind Kejriwal. We are also learning that a delegation is approaching the EC office at the moment. Shireen, take us through what is happening over there.
Well, Avantika, we are right outside the Election Commission office, and these are the live visuals of the Congress delegation of KC Venugopal and also Mr. Sappal from Mallikarjun Kharge's office, who have in fact reached the Election Commission already. Abhishek Manu Singhvi is inside Election Commission. Apart from that, Jitendra Awad from the NCP is there, Sitaram Yechury from the CPIM, Javed Ali from the Samajwadi Party, and interestingly, Derek O'Brien from the TMC are going to come for this delegation that are going to the election commissioner. They are going to meet the CAC. They are going to complain about how there is misuse of central agencies on the opposition. There is absence of or lack of level playing field for the opposition parties is the big complaint with which the delegation has now reached the election commission. 5 p.m. time is what has been given to the delegation. So some of them have reached here. Other members are yet to reach, but the main crucial point that they are going to raise here is that A, how the account of Congress party has been frozen here. Another live visual of Derek O'Brien from the TMC, who has in fact reached the election commission now, this is a delegation that is comprising of about 6 to 7 leaders from the India alliance. But remember, interestingly, TMC has walked out of this alliance, so you can't really call this an India alliance, but a party delegation, a multi-party delegation that has reached the election commission, and they are going to complain about how the Congress account has been frozen, how Arvind Kejriwal, the sitting chief minister, has been arrested by the ED. So the misuse of the central agencies is something that is going to be pointed out by these delegation, by these members of this delegation. Now remember why they have come to election commission. In 2019, when Sunil Arora was the CEC, there was in fact Sunil Arora has written to CBDT that any kind of raid that need to happen by the agencies, the election commission need to be in loop, the election commission need to be informed. But this time, is that happening is the question with which the delegation has reached. So they are going to ask Rajiv Kumar that similarly in 2019, when the MCC was in place, any kind of raid that happens by the central agencies need to be alerted to the election commission. Similar procedure needs to be followed here as well, and a level playing field need to be given to the opposition. So with that demand and complaint, the delegation has reached the election commission. Back to you, Avantika.
Absolutely, Shireen, this is the Kanksha. And on that note, it's also important to highlight that there have been 2 Gazette notifications by the Finance Ministry last year itself, which in fact bestowed those parts on the Enforcement Directorate to make such arrests under the PMLA. Having said that, let's now talk about the political ramifications of this. We've also seen the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas try to fuel the entire campaign against the BJP as well. Having said that, how much of a solidarity now is coming in from these parties of the India Alliance and the others like the TMC? We've also heard earlier during the day Atishi go on to talk about how she's been receiving tremendous support from all those leaders of the India Alliance, primarily the Congress party as well.
There is a massive solidarity, no doubt. On ground also, we have seen how yesterday, immediately after the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal, we have seen a delegation of the Delhi Congress that comprises of Sandeep Dixit, that comprises of the PCC President Delhi, Arvind Singh Lovely, reached the residence of Arvind Kejriwal, met his family members as well. So there is not just the Congress, but other TMC members also. In fact, we have seen how Mamata Banerjee has tweeted in support of Arvind Kejriwal. Another member who has in fact coming, this is from the Aam Aadmi Party itself, Sanjay Pathak, and other leaders from the Aam Aadmi Party has also in fact reached the election commission. So there is a massive solidarity when it comes to the India Alliance, and not just India Alliance, because remember TMC walked out of the alliance, so they are not part of the India Alliance anymore. Right. But this is in fact a multi-party delegation that has reached here. This itself shows that TMC coming in this particular delegation itself shows how much they know how serious this issue is for the opposition. The timing is something that is being questioned by the opposition. Why is it just ahead of the elections that the sitting chief minister of Delhi has been arrested? Secondly, why is the Congress party's accounts being frozen? All these issues, it seems, have made the India Alliance once again come together and reach out to the election commission. So we have to of course see if the election commission will come up with any sort of solution for this issue, because remember, what the Congress party is highlighting is that when in 2019 the elections were announced, when the MCC was in place, any kind of raid that happens from the agency, the election commission was kept in loop because they had asked the CBDT to do so. So is that process being followed? With all that questions they have reached, we have to see after this there is going to be a joint
many questions to be answered over there, and perhaps those questions will be answered during that joint press conference which you were referring to, Shireen. Many thanks to you and Arunima for bringing in all those inputs and putting that entire story into perspective for us. Remember, this is the big top story that we've been tracking since yesterday.